Happy Bulletproof Monday, everyone. My name is Susan Sly, and today we're going to talk about social media trends that are absolutely free that you can capitalize on right now, regardless of whatever kind of business you have. It's been an incredible last 4 days. We just finished O4D, which was a digital marketing retreat, and we had experts in the areas of Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. It was absolutely amazing. It was so incredible. We had 4 different startup founders there. One took his company to over $100 million. One's just getting started. One became a millionaire by the age of 16. It was just crazy. And so, needless to say, it's been an incredible, last week getting ready for the event and everything. And I'm here with all of you. And if you normally watch live, we had a storm roll through earlier, so I wasn't live at my normal time because I just didn't have internet. But anyway, I've got the internet and I'm here to serve all of you. If you're new to Bulletproof Monday or someone shared this with you, couple quick things. I do send out the notes from Bulletproof Monday. O if you go to susansly.com, you subscribe on my list, I will send you the notes. Don't worry, I'm not going to spam you. If you are interested in next year's O4D, that is going to happen on April 16th to 19th. We're going to start on Thursday the 16th at 1 in the afternoon. And we already have some incredible speakers confirmed for that event. You can find out more on susansly.com on the events tab. And that event is over 50% sold out already for next year. We actually doubled the capacity, but we're 50% sold out. It's crazy. Anyway, so with that, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to share with you some social media trends from these amazing thought leaders that we had featured at Only 4 Days. And these are things you can implement in your business right now. And I just want to say some special shouts out. Hey, Jess, I'm so glad you guys made it off the mountain. And Casey, it's great to see you. Amy and Hope and Rial, it was great to spend time with you guys this weekend. Hi, Delisa, love you. Hey, Johnny, aloha, it's wonderful to see you. Teresa, I want to give some shouts out. Teresa gave my daughter just this beautiful gift, and it brought my daughter to tears. Thank you, Teresa, for your beautiful heart. Hey, Tracy and Gina and Bruce and Barb, it's great to see all of you. And wherever you are in the world, I just want to welcome you. This Bulletproof Monday show is designed for small business owners, people who are entrepreneurs, people who want to get into branding, self-branding, or even are just exploring marketing, regardless of your profession. So at Only 4 Days, we had physicians, we had CPAs, we had attorneys, and everyone's on the same journey. It's like, how do we navigate this crazy world of marketing? So anyway, let's get started. The first tips I want to give you are from Dennis Yu. Dennis is a global Facebook expert. He has appeared on CNN, Fox. He's been featured in Forbes. He travels all around the world as a keynote speaker. He has some of the biggest clients in the world. And Dennis is on a mission, especially to empower young people. So he's a phenomenal person. So here are the first 2 tips that you can implement right now. So the first one is 1-minute videos. So when you're doing, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, people have a very short attention span. So doing a 1-minute video can be really helpful, and you want to do it on a business page so you can boost it. So there are different types of 1-minute videos you can do. So you could do one just about your story. So you could say something like, hi, my name is Susan Sly, and one of the things you see is, this woman who's been on CNN and CNBC and Fox and all that other stuff. But what you don't see is a little girl who was kidnapped when she was 3 years old and always wondered if she actually deserved to be happy. And so just stuff like that. Or you could keep it lighter. You could be doing a product review, a book review, as an example, Bruce lives in Napa, and this especially is for you, Bruce. I love you so much. Bruce, you could be doing wine reviews and just doing 1-minute video wine reviews. There's so many things you can do, regardless of whatever business that you have. Another type of 1-minute video you could do is just a shout out. I could say, for example, like, I was given a beautiful gift on the weekend, and I'm gonna do a shout out video. It's 1 minute to this beautiful lady, and just a heartfelt thank you. They could be funny videos. If you scroll down this page, we went hiking, and one of the gals, Dawn Soto, she had our new I Create Freedom socks, and she did the funniest video. It's 46 seconds, and you can just see it like down the scroll. So different things you can do. So I want you to make a list right now of some 1-minute videos you could do. And you know, how many you might be saying, Susan, how many should I do? Ideally, probably just 1 a day, 5 days a week is perfect. And the next thing is about shooting them in vertical. So the reason you want to do that, and part of my voice, I've been talking for days and days and days, so it's getting a little like, oh, you know, anyway, you want to shoot them in vertical. So now you guys can see my phone case, you know, clearly the Asian theme going on. Shooting them in vertical because most people look at social media on their phone. And so you want to stop the scroll. And if you shoot horizontal, people can see the things that are above what you've got there and below. But if you shoot them vertical, it takes up the person's whole screen. So anything you're doing, especially for Instagram and Facebook, all one company, you definitely want to do it vertical. So that comes from Dennis. The next one comes from Kieran O'Brien. So Kieran is an Instagram influencer. He's an account manager. He owns a digital marketing agency, and he specializes in the luxury automotive space. And Kieran is 19 years old. So he was giving some amazing, amazing Instagram tips. So over 70% of businesses are on Instagram, and you want to make sure you do have a business profile set up, and the photos that you post, they're really designed to be your high points. And then Avery, who's my daughter, who also runs accounts on Instagram for people, along with Kieran, one of the things she said is make sure when you're posting the photos that you do go ahead and really edit them well. And her favorite app to do that is Afterlight 2. I like to use Facetune. I will edit just using the simple editor on the iPhone. But you know, don't wash out your photos too much. If you have an iPhone, use the portrait mode. It just gives that beautiful depth to your photograph. And don't just take one photo, take a whole bunch of them. And so Saturday night I was at Impact Church, and Montel Jordan was there, and he was preaching and he was performing. It was amazing. I've done a speaking event with Montel for 20,000 people. I can't even talk today. 20,000 people in Las Vegas. And I met Montel before. And I had a friend of mine take the photo, and he took 2 photos. One, my eyes are closed, and one, Montel and I both look like this. So I couldn't post either of those photos, and that's all I had. So it's always a good idea to take multiple photos, check them, and that's really going to serve you. The other thing is when you're cleaning up your Instagram, don't delete anything. Instagram has algorithms. Facebook has algorithms. If you don't know what an algorithm is, it's just a lot of math, and it's there to read, you know, the kinds of posts you do. There are facial recognition algorithms. They want to make sure that when you're posting and saying it's you, it is actually you. And so if you delete the photo, then Instagram doesn't like that. The algorithm doesn't like that. It's not as likely to promote your post to your friends. And so you can simply click a button and archive it, and then that won't mess up the algorithm. So there's just a little FYI. With your Instagram stories, you want to have those nice and short. So I like to take the video first and then edit it. I use an app called InShot. There are different video editors you can do, and then you can save it as a highlight. So when someone wants to find out about you and sort of how you live your life, what they'll often do is look at your different stories. Now, if you don't highlight the story, what happens is it disappears after 24 hours. So last week, I did with some friends, I did 3 hot yogas in one day. It was over 120 degrees. It was amazing. I love it. At the next only 4 days, we're going to do another hat trick of yoga, I call it. And so we were doing stories all day long, and they all disappeared. Now, if I take it on my phone and it's archived on my phone, then I can post it if I decide, you know, that one of my pillars is really around health, which it is, and then I can put it back up there. So you can't just take it, it'll save to your phone, but I always like to take the story and then edit it. The next thing, Casey Adams. Casey is the co-founder of Build Your Empire. He was just keynoting for Gary Vee. He has been on, you know, in all the major media, and just an incredible, incredible entrepreneur. And Casey is 18 years old, and he has an incredible podcast, over 100 episodes out with people like Grant Cardone and, you know, all these amazing influencers. And one of the things Casey and Kieran and the other people who were there talked about were your brand pillars. So ideally you want to have 3 brand pillars. So your brand pillars really speak volumes about what you represent on your social media. So So if Delisa is scrolling my social media, say my Instagram, it's going to be very apparent as she looks at my stories and she looks at my photos that, okay, family is a big one for me. Health is a big one for me. Entrepreneurship is a big one for me. So it's very clear. And think about what you want your brand pillars to represent for you. So as an example, if you're into health and wellness, maybe it's healthy food, maybe it's exercise. Those could be a couple of brand pillars. Maybe it's entrepreneurship. Maybe it's wine. Maybe it's friends. Maybe it's dogs or cats or whatever it is. So you want to write down 3 brand pillars. Now there can be sub brands under the brand pillars. So for example, yoga, I do a lot of yoga, but yoga isn't the brand pillar. It's health and wellness. And within that would be things like yoga and nutritional cleansing and, fasting and all that other stuff I do. Within my family, that's where things like the church I go to would fall under, running races with my son, that kind of stuff. And if you go on my Instagram, I posted a story today. So we were out with Jeffrey from JR Garage. So if you go on YouTube, JR Garage has almost 1 million followers. Jeffrey and his brother Christian, they were millionaires by age. Jeffrey was 15. And so they have one of the biggest watch channels that's on YouTube. They have almost 100 million views of their videos. And so we were, I took Jeffrey and Casey to dinner with my family on Saturday night and my business partner, Radius Jeff, and his girls. And so then Jeffrey said, hey, do you want to go to the warehouse? And I'm like, yeah, I want to go to the warehouse. So we go to the warehouse and there were a couple of Ferraris, a Maserati, there was a McLaren. So my son, I said, hey, AJ, do you want to get in the McLaren? He's like, yeah, I want to get in the McLaren. So one of my Instagram stories is just, 47 seconds of what it's like for my son to sit in this amazing car, right? So things like that are going on in your life that are fun, that represent your brand pillars, those are great things to post in either your Facebook stories, your Instagram stories. But if it doesn't really align, so let's say you're in health and wellness and you decide you're going out partying, you do all these shooters and things like that. Unfortunately, I don't do that. It's been a long time since I've done stuff like that. That maybe isn't something you want to post. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully it does. All right, speaking of Jeffrey from JR Garage, he's the last one I'm going to mention. So he gave some amazing tips on YouTube. And the big thing is he said YouTube is still something that's so underutilized. So I want to give you some tips about YouTube. So if you want to really build YouTube following, a great thing to do are reviews. So I have a friend, who is she's if I say the word, the Facebook algorithms won't like it, but let's say she's a intimacy therapist, right? So if she goes on YouTube and she starts reviewing different products and books and things like that, of course she's going to start to get more views. Once your channel has over 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewing hours, so it doesn't mean that 4,000 people viewed an hour. What it means essentially is that your content was consumed over 4,000 hours. Then you can be eligible, because Google owns YouTube, you can be eligible to make money on YouTube. So it's a great extra source of revenue, and it can be an amazing lead magnet, doing things like reviews, putting yourself out there on video. You don't need an expensive camera. These guys who shoot the car videos for JR Garage, of course they have cameras that they use in addition to less expensive cameras like GoPros and stuff like that, but it's a car channel. Versus like if you want to just do reviews or you want to shoot on your iPhone or Android, you can absolutely do that. Run it through an editor, make sure it looks pretty. You can edit it right on YouTube, pop it up there, make sure you get your channel going. And again, why wouldn't you want to have that extra stream of revenue? And if you're in another business, let's say you're a physician, you might go on there and you could say, okay, I'm going to answer frequently asked questions of my patients, and maybe there's 25 different questions. There's 25 videos. It's one answer per question that you can do. So as that begins to get going, again, you just go through Google Ad Manager. You can connect the account and start to generate revenue if any advertisers want to advertise on your YouTube channel. So again, why wouldn't you want to do it? So, there's so much, I'll just finish with this. There's so many amazing things that are happening in social media and marketing. It's never been a better time to be in business and market your business. And, I see a lot of people who have, a day job and a side hustle, and, kudos to you. It does take a lot of work, but it is definitely worth it. So with that, I want to say, if you're wondering what's next, I do have a class coming up in May called NLP for Business. I'm a certified NLP coach, and it's 4 weeks where I teach business professionals how to use NLP for negotiations, for sales, for managing their own emotional state. So you can check it out on susansly.com. With that, if this has been helpful, I will read all of your comments. I do go through, I read all of them. If it's been helpful, I would love for you to share. And with that, wherever you are in the world, I just hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Again, I apologize for the technical errors. I'll be back here next Monday. If you have a topic that you want me to talk about in entrepreneurship, startups, business, technology, go to susansly.com. I have an AI chatbot on there. Just message the chatbot and with your suggestions. So with that, God bless, rock your day, and I'll see you next Monday.